Have you ever watched a crazy action adventure movie and wondered how you could experience that firsthand? Or maybe you're looking for a fun interactive puzzle that you can enjoy in your free time. Perhaps you're looking for an in-depth story that you can connect with and relate to. Or maybe you're just looking for a new way you and your friends can get together and just laugh the night away. The beautiful thing is that all of these scenarios have one simple answer in common: video games. Now, however, a majority of society has either been blinded or has no reason to look and see just how far video games have come and how many different genres they have spread to. So buckle up and enjoy as I take you on an in-depth journey into what the world of video games has become and hopefully open you up to a mesmerizing universe right under your nose. So, we begin by asking the question, what is a video game? Now, I believe, depending on who you ask, you'll get plenty of different answers. Some may say it's a virtual world that you can take part in. Others may say it's a virtual puzzle that you work to solve. The games coming to mind of these individuals are most likely completely different, but at the end of the day, they know what they're talking about because it's either the genre they love the most or are most familiar with. This made me wonder what a non-gamer would think when asked the question, what is a video game? Now, naturally, in search of answers, I went to Google. The definition that Google gave me was as follows. A video game is an electronic game that involves interaction with a user interface to generate visual feedback on a 2- or 3-dimensional video display device. Now, in a non-gamer's head, when given this definition and what the world typically expresses as popular video games, such as first-person shooters and team-based strategy games, I can understand where they come from when they believe the gaming universe isn't for them. But this couldn't be farther from the truth. The ever-expanding universe of video games undoubtedly has a game for everyone. Now, I can't promise that you'll enjoy it, but I can promise that the genre for you is there. The all-too-common ideology that video games are either shooters, sports, or puzzle games is quite honestly just a widespread, ill-informed fact that has no validation. These games are the most common, and that is with good reason, because they are the most popular genres. However, if these are not your style, keep watching, because I'm sure the world of video games still had something to offer you. Now, I know going into this video, the main question you guys have for me is, why are you doing this? I personally am an avid gamer and have without a doubt fallen in love with what video games have to offer. I've found a few genres that I can wholeheartedly say are my favorite and have changed me as much, if not more, than my favorite books or movies. I could not be happier diving deeper every day into this beautiful world as I discover many works of art I get the privilege of experiencing. I've even centered my YouTube channel around video games so I can share those experiences with the world. Unfortunately, the sad truth is that many haven't taken the plunge into the world of gaming, not because of a lack of interest, but because of a lack of knowledge. My purpose and hope for this video is that I can reach out to those who haven't had the opportunity to surround themselves with the world of gaming simply because they don't know what they would be getting into. I hope to carve a path to the happiness I incur while experiencing the hidden variety that video games possess and shed a light on the true nature of the gaming world, contrary to popular belief. I ask anyone who has made it this far and thinks they may be into video games, give it a shot. Do some research, whether it be my videos, someone else's, or just go out and play them. I promise you, it's worth your time. I also ask you to share this with anyone you're trying to get into gaming, so we can all grow as a community. Alright, with the purpose of this video out of the way, let's begin by talking video game genres. The sheer amount of genres is incomprehensible. I mean, every type of story, every method of gameplay, design, and presentation has been mixed and matched in every possible way imaginable. Do you want an action-packed adventure? We got it. You want a heartfelt, gripping story? Yeah, we got it. Oh, you want to feel like a superhero or god as you tear through the cityscape? Yeah, no problem. We've got it. Oh, you want all of that combined into one masterfully created experience? Guess what? We've got it. Looking at you, God of War. Now, moral of the story being, video games have got it all. I personally enjoy a gripping story mixed with expansive explorable worlds, so naturally open world games call my name. Now, some of my friends are less drawn to the explorable aspect of those games and are far more attracted to Telltale games where they write the story and watch their decisions play out in front of them. Some of them like to kick back for some shorter sessions just to escape the reality around them. A surplus of small but intriguing indie games have them covered. and others want to live out their fantasies of being an all-pro superstar or a dragon-slaying warrior. Here comes sports and RPG games to save the day. It can take time to find out which genres aren't just going to be good to you, but absolutely extraordinary in your experiences, but the time spent pays off. I encourage all of you newcomers to try a game similar to your interests in other media forms, such as TV shows and movies. However, all my avid gamers out there, I encourage you to dig deeper and try something new, because finding your new favorite genre and hours upon hours of enjoyment could be one game away. And similarly, a new hobby and a world of fun could be that same game away for all my non-gamers. So take the plunge and find your genre. It is worth it, but why? To be completely honest, the answer to that question is kind of person-specific. Similarly to how some read for fun and others for escape, a reason to play and benefit from playing video games, it's all personal. Whatever your reason may be, though, it's a step well worth taking, because the involvement and the immersion a game can provide is just without compare. The closest comparison to the immersion games provide I can think of is a dream. Video games provide a way for you to live those dreams, and with virtual reality on the rise, that statement could not be closer to the truth. If for any reason you enjoy movies, TV shows, and/or books, I highly suggest giving video games a shot. They provide a platform for you to interact with those worlds and ideas that you've already fallen in love with, and a plethora of new worlds to discover. Now, one of the most common retaliations I get towards video games is that they are time consuming. Now, understandably, this scares a lot of non-gamers away with how large, complex, and in-depth some of these AAA titles have become. I'm here to happily reassure all of you newcomers that this is most definitely not the only case. There are a multitude of games that still possess intriguing plot lines or fun game mechanics, but don't require committed playing or long sessions. These include platformers like Mario or story-based games like any Telltale series. Many other games such as Call of Duty or Rocket League and other online games are comprised of shorter 10 to 15 minute game modes that the player can hop in and out of and are not required to meet any given time limit. The question of time put into video games is merely one of a personal preference. I think you'll quickly come to realize we don't log so many hours because these games require them. We're logging so many hours because we love the games and we want to keep playing them. If how time-consuming being a gamer can be isn't the most common non-gamer concern, then the price of being a gamer is. Now, admittedly, this problem is far more serious and isn't as much a personal preference as with time. As with any serious hobby, serious gaming can get expensive. Most AAA or mainstream developer titles release around $60, and consoles tend to run around the $300 mark. Now, once invested, this isn't too much to drop for most avid gamers such as myself, but I wouldn't ask any newcomers to drop so much when they're just getting started. If you happen to have a friend with a console, that's great. Now, hopefully with this video and that friend's help, you can get introduced to a couple of games you might enjoy and just go from there. However, it is harder for those with little to no close relationships with gaming. My suggestion for you guys is, if you have a laptop, try Steam, because Steam offers a multitude of free games that can give you a look into how you feel about different types of games. Also, there's always YouTube. Now, I know you can't play those games, but watching a playthrough may give you a feel into whether a purchase is worth it or not. All in all, there is still a variety of ways to start immersing yourself into the world of video games for free or next to nothing. Now, that being said, with the right sales, you can also find the whole console and games deal pretty cheap, so if you're looking to just jump in all the way, you definitely have my support for that too. Before we continue on our journey to join the world of video games, I do have a quick disclaimer for those thinking of buying a console. I know personally how exhilarating it can be to purchase a new console, especially your first. So much excitement and energy built up as you finally accumulate enough money to buy that dream console. And you drive yourself to the store of your choice, or you pull up Amazon or some other website, and finally, after however long you've been saving, you buy that console. You take it home, or it comes in the mail, and you set it up, and the excitement's still brewing on the inside. You make your brand new account, the home screen / menu pulls up, and then, well, nothing. Granted, if you bought a couple of games, you can play those, but even then, that's it? Like, you just poured your hard-earned $300, $400, $500 to play, what, one, two, maybe no games. It can be overwhelmingly disappointing, especially at first, and this disappointment can quickly drive you away from video games in general. After all, there is no game I would consider worth that price point. But don't give up hope. The console itself is always the hardest part of getting into video games. Now that you've gotten past that, you can delve deep into the heart of video games for a much more reasonable $5 to $60 or so per experience. And we welcome you to our community with open arms and understand that new console struggle you're going through. But it's behind you now. With that quick disclaimer aside, it's time to talk about my favorite aspect of video games, the gaming community. As with any community, the gaming community does have its bad sides, and I advise anyone not ready for a full-blown war to avoid Rainbow Six Siege. Outside of the natural negativity that tends to come with all the competitive multiplayer activity, lies a beautifully developed and opportunistic community full of life, love, friendship, exploration, and unity. The opportunities that video games provide socially is just completely unmatched. I mean, you can play your favorite games across the globe with friends or others who share a guaranteed passion in common with you. One of the easiest ways to find a new friend is to sit down and play a couple of games with them, and video games have made this easier than ever. The largest natural limitation of life between you and your friends has become obsolete, and distance is no longer a problem. And online games have also made it easier than ever to find new friends whom otherwise you may have never met. I mean, looking past the many personal life connections that video games can help you develop, also lies a strong community with an ever-growing voice and power. Countless times the backing of a game has come together to move a market or change a development decision, such as loot boxes, and the aftermath is far better gaming experience because of it. Furthermore, the sheer amount of money a variety of charity streams and communal charity events that have raised is just jaw-dropping. I mean, the love and support that you can find in this community through friends, communal projects, or just content creators such as myself is overwhelming and is by far the greatest aspect of joining the gaming world to me. So what does the world of gaming have to offer for those who prefer the solo aspect of video games? Well, my friends, I assure you the answer does not disappoint. While it can be said that there's a wide variety of games designed to play co-op, the same can be said for the opposite. Whether you're looking for an overbearing challenge to fulfill you with accomplishment upon completion, such as the Dark Souls franchise, a vast open world teeming with life and exploration, such as the Fallout franchise, or a deep, inclusive story to grasp at your heartstrings, such as God of War or The Last of Us. The world of solo gaming is vast and filled with a variety of experiences for all kinds of players. I, for one, can vouch for this, being more of a solo guy myself. Do I enjoy sharing my experiences with everyone? Yes. But I'm not the biggest fan of playing online with others, and would rather be drawn in and immersed into the game on my own. I assure you, if you don't have a ton of friends also interested in gaming, or just prefer to play on your own, you have no need to fret. So, where do we start? Hopefully, you've decided in the last 14 minutes or so that the world of video games intrigues you, and you want to look deeper into this incredible universe. It can easily become overwhelming if you just pull up a list of what games to play, or what consoles to buy, or what developers to love or not. I mean, the truth of the matter is the world of video games is heavily opinionated, and without a basis to work off of, I mean, you have no idea who has a similar opinion as you or not. It's far easier to suggest and praise products that you yourself love, and that is the majority of content available. So where do you start? I understand how complex this decision can be to make, and I'm going to try to break it down in simpler terms for you. If you don't have access to a console, or you aren't ready to buy one, start with YouTube and free-to-play games. These can give you a feel for what types of games you may like, and if buying a console is a worthwhile investment. This is actually a fairly simple path, but the same cannot be said about buying a console. Choosing which console you buy is more about the community that you're joining than the actual hardware that you're receiving. When choosing a console, I'd advise you to keep these few key details in mind. Number 1. Know what consoles your friends play on, because the reality of crossplay is that we don't know when it will be coming. Number 2. Look into the exclusive games each company has. Both Microsoft and Sony have worthwhile exclusive titles, and which ones intrigue you more should definitely affect your purchase. Number 3. I might get a lot of flack for this, but at the end of the day, the hardware difference between PS4 and Xbox One is close to obsolete. It really should not be considered in this decision. And then lastly, if you're not interested in, the complexity and the scale of these popular AAA titles, and you'd rather focus on a friendlier, enjoyable gameplay that can be played almost any time, then Nintendo Switch should be considered. The Switch has a large variety of exclusive titles and is unique in its mobility. If the hardcore console lifestyle isn't for you, but you're still looking to step up from mobile games and join the gaming community, then the Switch may be the perfect console. Okay, well, now that you've picked your console, you're free to journey into the world of video games as you please. I advise you to watch your step and venture with caution at first, not to be overwhelmed, but the choice is yours. Explore, experiment, and discover your favorite genres, and thank you for allowing me to welcome you to the world of video games. Keep an eye out for future videos on some of my favorite and least favorite games, as well as plenty of Let's Plays at your disposal. I hope that I opened your eyes to the many wonders video games possess to newcomers, or inspired all of you veterans to embrace change and finally try a variety or a new genre of games. Enjoy your gaming, and by all means, leave a comment telling me about your favorite games you found, and I'd love to talk about everything you and I love most about our gaming experiences. If you guys enjoyed the video, any likes or subscribers means the world to me. You guys have always and will always be my motivation to keep recording these videos. Once again, thank you for sitting through my take on video games. Peace out. Hey guys, post-production Nathaniel here. I just wanted to say thank you for staying through the video. I know it's not the best. This is my first ever scripted and edited together video. I'm proud of some of the cuts. Some of them are also pretty obvious, but hopefully it flowed pretty well and you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said earlier, if you guys did, any subscribes, likes, anything like that means a lot to me, and I'm just really thankful that you guys stuck it through. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.